Hello guys, my name is Michael. You guys already know what I'm here for. Today, this is another update video about Oculus Link for Linux. And some of the stuff I'm going to be talking about to you today is going to be a bit on the lengthier side. This video is going to be kind of long. I do not intend for it to be, but unfortunately it has to be this way since a lot has happened, I think, since the last update video, which was released a couple of weeks ago. I want to say it was around like 4 weeks ago. Yeah, 4 weeks. Okay. So, let's get into the video. Hope you guys like this video, like and subscribe, and comment down for more stuff like this, and tell me what you guys want to see from this. Anyways, let's get into the video. Okay, so first thing to start off with is the Discord server. I did promise on my GitHub that I was going to make a Discord server for this project, and I actually did. I have not, announced it yet since, I've been a bit caught up with some stuff in real life, but hey, the GitHub repo has the link to the Discord server there. I'll also have it here in the description below, so you guys can actually come join it. It's a bit bare bones, and I'm not really used to doing a lot of stuff when it comes to doing with servers, but I hope that this is going to be somewhat of a good server to do. Now, don't be kind of like an asshole and joining in, but I don't really expect that from you guys, but, hey, some people who probably is on my channel is probably going to do something like that, but, hey, it is what it is, I guess. Just at least be a bit, kind on there. So the next one I want to get into and talk about is the file structure. The file structure, as you guys can see, since the last update has changed quite a bit. The removal of the weird OLL source and the fact that it was just a random OLL file that held all the C++ stuff, which, to be honest with you, was kind of annoying because you have all these scripts and files that did literally compiled it, but it had to go through an extra directory, which kind of was making it more useless. It was an old deprecated thing from the Rust branch that I made a while ago, and since this project is going to start on Rust, I was trying to copy the same exact file structure as ALVR. But I realized this now that it wasn't going to work that well for C++ and this project and the ideas of it. So I decided to get rid of it and just full on make something different. It is most of the file structure is still there, the build directory's there, source still too, but yeah. Basically, I'm trying to go a little bit for how Cargo and Rust, how it handles when you make a new project. I'm trying to do something very similar to it in general because of the fact I kind of like the way that directory is clean, stuff like that. So I just try to copy something similar to it, so it made it much more easier to develop and have all my stuff needed, all my programming stuff in a source directory, while having my compiled binaries to in a build directory. I decided to do like this because it was just gonna be a much more cleaner and neater thing. Source has had some bit of changes, so the OpenXR SDK is included into the source directory along with the lib. So include and lib are gonna fulfill the similar purposes, while all the .c files are going to be just in the source directory, not in the source and lib directory. Okay. I'll put an image on screen to make to show you guys what it actually looks like, because I may not be explaining it very well. Going on from the fact that the whole file structure is a bit different, we also have Conan. I did touch upon this a tiny bit, but when I touched upon it, it was more of a work in progress thing. I wasn't sure if I actually was going to decide to use it, but Conan is going to be used inside this project. I may have said that in the original video, but it's been a while since I actually looked at that video, so I don't remember. But we do have one single bug with Conan at the moment, and it's a bit of an issue. The issue is the fact that when you guys go to install all the libraries and dependencies you need from the Conan file, what happens is not all of the linker flags get sent to the make file that Conan creates inside of the build directory. Unfortunately, I have no idea how to fix this because of the fact that I don't know if it's my issue or if it's a issue with Conan itself. The only temporary fix I can have is to look up the file, random file error you're having, and just try to look up the linker flag it needs, and then manually put that into where it has a binary section inside the make file. That's the only way I can think about doing this. That's the only way I can actually process the fact that this is how it will work. But unfortunately, that's the good fix I have for it at the moment, and I hope that it would not make everything else more hard, but that's just one of the issues we have at the moment. Along with that, we have two extra libraries. You have OpenXR and OpenVR. Now, OpenXR is for the implementation of the Oculus Quest. Remember, the Oculus Quest has support with OpenXR, but not OpenVR. ALVR is more made for Steam VR and stuff like that. I hope to get Steam VR support out of the box, but I gotta look up to see if I can use OpenVR and OpenXR together at the same time. I will find this out soon after this video gets published, and I'll be working on another test inside of this, but I won't commit it to the main repo. Well, I'm just gonna make a test and see how it goes, and I'll let you guys know in the comments below. Also, I didn't mention ALVR because technically Oculus Link for Linux was going to be a fork of ALVR. The reason why is because the fact that it already had some of the bases that I needed. You know, the connection checks, USB, not USB checks, but you know, how it handled information and data streaming. But remember, ALVR is a wireless, you know, streaming thing to your computer, not a wired tethered experience to your computer, to your Oculus Quest, kind of like what Link is. And I realized the fact that the code base of ALVR would have to be majorly rewritten a lot in order for a lot of these ideas I have to actually come to fruition. So I noticed the fact that it wasn't going to go the exact way I wanted it, so I kind of went back on it. But I am using ALVR for a lot of documentation purposes when it comes to the Oculus Quest, because they are actually really helping me out understanding how the Quest goes, and I really applaud them for that. Please, if you guys want to, you know, wirelessly play your games on your Oculus Quest, your PC VR games on Oculus Quest on Linux, I recommend checking them out. Anyways, I am not trying to compete with them at all. This is just good. I mean, you guys can say this is an alternative, but you know, we are just two different projects trying to do two different things. I'm trying to get wireless tethering connection to Oculus Quest through Linux, and they are trying to do wireless streaming from all platforms, macOS and Linux. So not macOS, Windows and Linux. Sorry about that. Anyways, requirements are a bit finicky right now. Conan, depending on what kind of files you've implemented in, likes to not install those for your package manager So CMake has to be one installed. I think Xtrans and some X11 files has to be installed. Luckily, if it does give you an error, just see if you guys can look it up for your specific distro. I do not know if I can find out what it is for your distro or the exact package name, since all distros package names are a bit different from time to time. After this video, I will make a GitHub repo commit to the main branch and also the C++ branch about all the requirements that you need after this video goes up. Reason why is when it comes to building, you may not know what exactly you need at the time, so I'm going to at least provide a file in all branches actually, to let you guys know what you guys all need to build it from source. So yeah. Also, without having for you guys to build this from source, which I'll be touching about here in a minute, flat packs are another possibility I want to get into. Now, I haven't really talked upon this, I haven't really researched my whole thing about this, but what I've been seeing, flat packs are very good when it comes to reliability and stability. They're very and they're also cross-platform too, which will help me, compile a lot of these projects in a much better way, and help with the development time. Flat packs are a possibility for the moment. I have not fully decided on them since I gotta learn how flat pack builds. I gotta make sure that it even will work with my way of building in my own binary format. I think it should be working, but yeah. Though I'm not sure if I can get flat packs to work, and the first flat pack release will only come at the very first release of the main branch. The very first release of the Oculus Link for Linux, through the GitHub releases tab, that's how it's gonna be. So that yeah. Also, an Android app possibility will have to be a Oculus Quest app will have to be developed in the event that I cannot get controller tracking to work through the headset, because of the fact that the Oculus Quest, from what I understand, is sending all the information of the controls like that to the computer, which unfortunately has an abstraction layer that I probably do not have. So in the event I need an Android app to have you guys tether your Quest to your computer, yeah, that's probably about it. I will see if I can get the basic minimum amount of tracking for controllers to work through or without an Android app. But in the event that does not work, Android app will have to be created in order for this to work. The reason why I say Android app instead of Oculus Quest app is because of the fact that they are both the exact same thing. Oculus Quest app is Oculus Quest is just basically Android phone, which does help with me understanding a tiny bit how the thing works. Though, like I said before, this will make it a bit harder to access certain information about the headset in the event that I cannot take a look at it because of the fact of an abstraction layer with the Oculus Quest and PC. Now, to go along with the programming section, we also have multiple different branches. So we got the C++ branch and main branch. Those two are going to be somewhat similar. They're going to be very exactly the same, except for the C++ branch, which is going to have a much more neatly features, much more experimental, and more. But it will be less stable compared to the main branch. The main branch we're going to have is basically going to be like the C++ branch, which is much more stable and much more easier to actually use. Now, I do also have the GitHub Pages branch, which I'm thinking about actually doing. For right now, it's up in the air, but I did create the GitHub Pages branch just in case I actually am going to go through it. Along with that, there's an extra branch you guys may have seen that has been a bit deprecated over the past couple of weeks. The Rest branch. Yes, I know, I have not touched this branch since the very first couple of weeks, and the first couple of days of the project actually being live. For right now, this project, that branch is going to be deprecated for right now until I can get the C++ version to actually work with the Oculus Quest. If I can get it working with the Oculus Quest, then guess what? The rest branch will actually come to fruition. Building from source. This is another topic I want to talk about. Building from source. I did actually include multiple ways for you guys to build things from source. I mean, how to tell you guys how to build it from source. I included an ASCII cinema along with a video I posted on my YouTube channel and along with a step-by-step instruction guide on the README. This is probably more favored for a full-on install install markdown file that will be included to the repo. But yeah, that's all I have for the building from source. And in the event that a next GitHub commit messes with the file structure and gets rid of the build directory, make sure you create that directory and then just install all the stuff you need to it. Create the build directory and cd into it, and then do the Conan install ... stuff like that. Now, here comes the much more lengthy part of this video. I'm sure probably some people wanted me to talk about this, but how is development going to go for this project? I spent the first couple months of this project defining and building the very foreground that this program is going to be built with. Makefiles and all. As you guys can see, I talked about all the file structure, a new makefile, and more, but I haven't really, talked a lot about the programming side of things. And that's probably for good reason. For right now, I'm trying to get the base stable as possibly can, so that when I build the whole program and actually get it to work, it actually has a pretty stable ground, and it's not going to be, a broken mess because of my own, build systems. And also, I don't want to have, decrease in performance if you guys are going to be using this as your, main way to play VR games. So I'm trying to get the basis of, this, building system, file structure, and more to be really, really solid before I actually start to, show commits of actual C++ programming. Also, commits about C++ will come a bit rare than file structure changes because of the fact that I'm actually actively working on it. So commits will become a lot less common for me when it comes to actually the C++ files and actually the functionality of the project implementation and all. The way this all works with the make files like that is, instead of having a .cpp file, it's going to be a .cc. And you have header files with .hpp, .hh, and .h. They all should work fine. I do not know because I tried it out one time and I think it built properly. Then again, I could be wrong. Anyways, like I said before, development when it comes to this is going to be very, very long, a bit of a long thing to come to when you guys see commits from me. Just because I don't make a commit or I don't so you guys don't see anything updated with the project does not mean that it's not, it's just. It does not mean it's going to be gone or I'm not working on it. No, it just means I'm actually actively working on it, but I don't want to show I don't want to keep committing every time I make a change to a file. Which I know kind of sounds hypocritical because my commit history looks exactly like that. Though I do need to fix some issues that get caught up when I'm actually committing. So yeah. Next is going to be a bit of a sad, announcement to make. But this entire month of April, I will not be able to, at least I probably will not be able to develop Oculus Link for Linux for this month only. I won't be able to work on it on the outside because my free time is going to be eaten up by a lot of other things that's going to be happening this month. Unfortunately, I hate to announce this, but I did announce my Discord server. I'll link in the description below. And yeah, I hope you guys can understand that, but I will be trying to work on this and make small commits here and there in the event that it needs it. But don't expect anything major or more from me this month. even though I'm recording a video trying to, make more of an announcement and like give an update progress on this. Now, I actually have not talked about how my update progress videos are going to be going. They actually will be divided into two things. One is going to be a blog post, which is going to be more in-depth and then have a ton of information, while a video is going to be a bit more shortened down when it compared to the blog post. It's going to be a bit more straightforward, and I'm going to go through a lot of things much better. Also, if you guys, it may be a plus for you guys to see about the blog post, because the fact that you guys want to hear me ramble on about other things. Though I'm not sure if I want to make a whole nother website for Oculus Link for Linux, or do it on my own personal blog site, which I don't know which yet at the moment. Though, the updates will come every, I think every other month, or even every month, okay? Because the fact that it will provide you guys an understanding about what's going on this month, and what I'm going to be doing, along with what has been completed. Which is probably why I actually did make a lot of the project and progress files inside of the the directory, not directory, but the source GitHub repo. Also, with the way that I'm gonna go back a little bit to when I talked about how development's gonna go, and then I'm gonna add on a tiny bit of stuff to that, which is the fact that at first 3 degrees of freedom is going to be the only thing available. Why? Well, it'll make my job much more easier trying to strive for just basic tracking, basic 3 degrees of freedom, virtual desktop, and that's basically about it. Okay, I want for the first release to be able for you guys to look around at your desktop, in a 3D environment, so you just see desktop screen in the middle, and then you just look around in like a 3D environment. That's probably going to be like a white grid-like area. The reason for this is it makes it so much more easier to strive for this, because of the fact that I know what my goal is. Full 6 degrees of freedom will be coming at a later time. It should come a tiny bit after the 3 degrees of freedom happens, because it probably won't be that hard to implement. Along with controller tracking too. Controller tracking will come way after the 6 degrees of freedom build. Now you may be wondering, why am I not doing anything to do with 6 degrees of freedom for first? Well, unfortunately, I don't know how 6 degrees of freedom works with Oculus Quest. I understand how it works, but it'll probably be a hell of a thing that I actually implement into this project, when really there's not really that much things already in this project to do. So right now I'm trying to set myself like a goal trying to meet. So the fact that I get basic 3 degrees of freedom working, basic tracking, basic you can see a virtual desktop, and then have it be recognized by Steam VR. That's all I'm trying to get for right now, and then I can go based off of that what I've implemented, and then make and improve on one of the things I've already created. So yeah, I know that may sadden you guys to realize, oh yeah, hey, for the first release, it's gonna be, a 3 degrees of freedom, feeling. Yes, I know I want to actually make this project for you guys to game, but for right now, I need to make just 3 degrees of freedom, like I said before, just to make it much more easier. And also, an issue with testing with VR games is that there's not that many VR games out there for people on Linux, which is very hard to even do. The only one I know out there that I think has support is Half-Life Alyx. And yeah, I mean, if I'm using that as my only benchmark for, VR testing, then I don't really know how to even test the VR headset at all. I know I probably could just make some in-house, Unity and Unreal test to see how it works with Unreal and Unity. But I mean, even then, I don't know how it would actually work with all the other VR games. So expect, not a lot of VR games to work at first, because of the fact there's not that many VR games for Linux. Also, hand tracking, I have only considered this a possibility. I don't think I'm going to actually even do it, because of the fact there's not that many games out on Steam that actually work with hand tracking. So yeah, that's probably about it for the tracking purposes. Also, along with this, releases are going to be a bit weird. I should have covered this back on my branches, section of the video. But how it's going to go is the main branch is going to get the official releases of, Oculus Link for Linux, while the C++ branch is going to make you build some source. The reason for this is the fact that make it much more easier, and, have it be just a hell of a lot easier for people just to download the, most stable version of Oculus Link for Linux, but have people build from source if they want the more experimental and unstable version of Oculus Link for Linux. Also, releases for Oculus Link for Linux will come both in the Discord Oculus Link for Linux releases tab in the Discord server, and also in the GitHub repo releases. I mean, that's because that's what it's always gonna be. But there'll be a file released into the releases tab. Like there's gonna be a GitHub post in there from the GitHub bot or GitHub webhook that will be alerted when a release has been made. I'll test it out here today to make sure to test out the releases tab and see if it actually works. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great day, night, morning, wherever you guys are. Just have a good one, and I hope to see you guys soon. I hope you guys like this video, like and subscribe, and comment down for more and what you guys want to see from me. I know I'm still working on some other videos, and it's a bit of a process right now working on this and other videos. So yeah. Anyways, I've rambled on for a bit too much now. So I hope you guys have a great wherever you are, you know, day, morning, night, whatever. I hope you guys have a good one, and I hope to see you guys soon at least. I know I'm still trying to work on some, like I said before, and these are still kind of a work in progress. So yeah. Anyways, I've said a bit too much now. Peace, guys.